and pretty much, this Thursday will be 2026. Is insatiably. And obviously, loads of films are set for release in the year 2026. So here are my now there's so many films to look forward to in the new year. So instead of doing like a top 10, top 20, I'm of course doing my top 100. That's right, top 100 anticipated films coming out in 2026. Now take a grain of salt. Some of these could always get delayed. I mean, remember when I did my top 100 anticipated movies of 2020? Yeah, majority of those films got delayed. So yeah, but there are some lot of stuff to look forward to. So here is my official top 100 anticipated films of next year. Number 100 is a movie that is set to premiere at Sundance called The Invite. Now, The Invite is directed by Olivia Wilde, who also did a great job with that little comedy a couple years ago called Booksmart. But she also stumbled with Don't Worry, Darling. I think this actually could be a little better, to say the least. If you guys don't know much about The Invite, it stars Seth Rogen, Penelope Cruz, Ed Norton, and Olivia Wilde. And it's about married couples experiencing a rough patch in their relationship, find themselves invited by their neighbors to engage in a weekly hanky-panky, if you know what I mean. I'm not going to say the full title because you never know about YouTube nowadays, but a group hanky-panky, if you know what I mean. Anyway, it does sound intriguing, to say the least. I mean, Olivia Wilde, I always quite like. You got Penelope Cruz, Seth Rogen. I mean, it could be interesting, but let's see here. All right. Coming in at number 99, this one's, of course, coming out just pretty much 1 month here. 20 years later, The Bone Temple. Now, I really quite enjoyed the first 20 years later. I thought it was pretty decent. So I'm definitely looking forward to check out this new one. Directed by Nia DaCosta, who I thought, I'm actually one of the rare folks who did not mind the Marvels. I actually thought the Marvels was pretty decent. Candyman, I like what she did. She just put out Hedda this recent. So, I don't know, I think this could be interesting, to say at least. It does look intriguing, so hopefully it's a good one. All right. Okay, accidentally lost that. My bad. Has a whole top 100 things written down in like my notepad thing, so sometimes I'll lose my place here. All right. Number 98. I was actually excited for this one. Because I do quite like what he did with Evil Dead and Evil Dead Rise and stuff. But I've been hearing some not so great things behind the scenes, and well, there are people who actually had saw it and like a test screen or whatever, and was not impressed by it. So that excitement went down just a little bit. But number 98 is The Mummy. Again, The Mummy is of course directed by Lee Cronin, who did a really good job with Evil Dead Rise. And from what I've been hearing, this movie might not be called The Mummy. It might be called Resurrected, and it might not even have to do with The Mummy at all. Which really, I mean, I am still hoping it is good because you got Jack Reynor is also in this. Again, I really quite like what the director did with Evil Dead Rise. So I have some hopes for this because of the director alone. There could be a good chance this movie might end up being a disappointment, but I don't know what we'll say. All right. Oh, dang it. I keep losing these things. All right. Coming in at number 97 is DreamWorks' new film, Forgotten Island. Forgotten Island is pretty much an anime film featuring the voices of singer Her, Dave Franco, and Jenny Slate. And it follows two best friends who become stranded on a mystical world where they only escape might cost them their shared lifetime of memories. Now, this is from the same director who gave us the Crude sequel a couple years back, and he also did Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. And the last time DreamWorks put out a movie that came out that same week, technically it was Gabby's Doll House, but before that was The Wild Robot, which I thought was excellent. Maybe this could be the next Wild Robot. Who knows? All right. Coming in at number. Dang it. Sorry about that. I always keep losing these things. All right. Coming in at number 98, this one's coming out in February, and it's called GOAT, an anime film from Sony Animation, and the previews for this looks pretty fun. I mean, Sony Animation has been killing it lately, with the Spider-Verse movies, most recent K-pop Demon Hunters. So I'm definitely looking forward to see this one. It is, of course, with Stephen Curry. You also do got voice talents like Kale MacLachlan from Stranger Things fame, Nick Kroll, David Harbour. And it's, of course, about like this GOAT named Will Harris, who is aspired to become the greatest of all time at the basketball-like sports known as ball. It looks pretty fun, charming. I do quite also like the standee that my dears have for it as well. So I'm definitely looking forward to see this. Hopefully it's a good one. Number 95 is Primate. Now, of course, this is pretty much going to be like the first new film of 2026, I'll be saying. And, of course, Primate is obviously about a killer chimp. This movie looks pretty fun. Now, the director's previous stuff, like the 20 Meters Down movies, has not really been the best. Although his best work, in my opinion, is probably The Strangest Prey at Night. But I think Primate looks a lot of fun. Who doesn't love a good horror movie about chimps? Like, obviously we have, Planet of the Apes movies or whatever, but you don't really get much, like, actual horror films about monkeys or a chimp or whatever, because those things could be vicious. So I'm definitely looking forward to this, no less. Hopefully it is a good one, because it did premiere at Fantastic Fest with some okay reviews, so I'm definitely looking forward to see that one. All right. Coming in at number 94 is Super Troopers 3. Now, I still don't know if it's going to be called Super Troopers 3 Winter Soldier. Like, they probably need to get Marvel's permission for that, I'm guessing. But I do quite like the Super Troopers movies. They are pretty fun to check out. The last one was pretty decent, and I love the Broken Lizards gang. Although my favorite thing they've ever put out is probably Club Dread, but I still love the Super Trooper movie, so definitely looking forward to see that one. Number 93 is Poetic License. Poetic License is, of course, the directorial debut by Maude Apatow, who you might know. Obviously, she is the daughter of Judd Apatow and Leslie Mann. But, of course, she played Lexi Howard on the show Euphoria. And this here stars the likes of Cooper Hoffman, Leslie Mann, Andrew Feldman. We also have Nico Parker, Method Man, and Jay Bon Jovi, who's, of course, married to Millie Bobby Brown. So there's that. And now this, of course, actually premiered at one of the film festivals. I think TIFF, if I know. Yeah, I think it was Toronto National Film Festival. And it's picked up by this new company called Roque. So there's that. And, of course, Cooper Hoffman, who is the son of Phil Seymour Hoffman, he's been killing it in the film, like, acting spares lately. With, like, The Long Walk, Licorice Pizza, Saturday Night. He's been doing some really good stuff lately. And now, as for Poetic License, it is, of course, about a former therapist and a soon-to-be empty nester who becomes an unexpected point of tension between Chu and Sarah, best friends and college seniors. And it does sound intriguing. It is set to premiere in May, so there's that. Maude Apatow, seeing her having her directorial debut, she is the daughter of Judd Apatow, so hopefully it'll work out pretty well there. So, I don't know. Hopefully it's a good one, but we'll see there. All right. Number 92 is Obnoxious People. Now, this is directed by Mark Foster, who, of course, you might know gave us Munster's Boy. He also gave us the recent remake of A Man Called Ove here. And Obnoxious People is actually based on the same book of the, A Man Called Ove. And, of course, the remake had Tom Hanks in it. And here's what this is about. It stars Angelina Jolie, Amy Lou Wood, coming off of White Lotus, Jason Segel, Jessica Gunning, coming off of Baby Reindeer. It stars Angelina Jolie as a investment banker who's stuck at a chaotic open house on Christmas Eve, where a failed bank robber accidentally takes it. Where a failed bank robber accidentally takes a people hostage and stuff, and it's actually sounds intriguing. I mean, you got Angela Jolie in this. What more can you ask for there? So I don't know. Hopefully, it is a good one. Mark Forster, definitely is a really cool director. I quite like what he did with Munch's Boy, Finding Neverland. He did. He also did that Christopher Robin movie, the Winnie the Pooh film. He did a good job of that one. So he's definitely a really interesting filmmaker. So hopefully this is a good one, but we'll see there. Number 91 is Reminders of Him. Now, this is based on a book by Colleen Hoover, who, granted, I don't really read Colleen Hoover books, but her last other couple adaptations I have quite enjoyed, like It Ends With Us with Blake Lively, most recent Regretting You. I actually got another Colleen Hoover film on this list as well, so. And the trailers for this has looked pretty interesting. It stars Micah Moreau, who I'm becoming a fan of her every time. She was great in Long Legs. Where, after prison, a woman attempts to reconnect with her daughter, but faces resistance from everyone except a bar owner with ties to her child. And the trailer for this does look interesting here. You got Lauren Graham, Bradley Whitford. It looks interesting, so hopefully it's a good one. And Tyreek Withers coming off of the not-so-good movie Him. Hopefully this will fare better, but we'll see. Number 90 is Power Ballad. Power Ballad, of course, is directed by the same director of Sing Street, and it stars Nick Jonas and Paul Rudd. And it pretty much depicts the conflict between a rock star and a wedding singer. It does sound intriguing. The aforementioned Jack Rayner is also in this, who's in the new Mummy movie. It sounds intriguing. John Carney has put out some good stuff, such as Begin Again, Sing Street, Once, Flora and Son. So he's done some pretty good music type stuff there too. So hopefully this is a good one, but we'll see. All right, number 89 is Here Comes the Flood, a Netflix movie starring Denzel Washington, Robert Pattinson, and Daisy Edgar-Jones. It's about a bank guard, a teller, and a master thief gets caught in a deadly game of cons and double crosses. It's directed by the Two Popes director, Fernando Meirelles, and I'm definitely looking for to see this in general. Of course, you got Denzel, Robert Pattinson, Daisy Edgar-Jones. Biggest complaint is that this is probably going to go to Netflix. It'll probably be in some theaters here and there, but it's not going to get much of a release, really. I mean, it does sound like it should be a theatrical release. You got two heavy house stars like Denzel, Robert Pattinson. Seriously? But maybe it'll be good. Who knows? We'll see. All right, number 88 is The Gallerist. The Gallerist stars the likes of Natalie Portman, Jenna Ortega, Charlie XCX, Divine Joy Randolph, and Zach Galifianakis. Oh, and Catherine Zeta-Jones. It's about terminally ill gallery owner Max D. Winter, who schemes to sell the corpse of an avant-garde art at the Prestige Art Base Miami, spiraling into chaos, deception, and on the art world. Now this is also premiering at Sundance, so see how good the reviews for that's going to be. But hey, I do like Jenna Ortega. I do like Natalie Portman. This is from this director of Birds of Prey, which I actually don't mind Birds of Prey. I had a fun time with that one. So I'm hoping this is a good one, but we'll see. All right, now number 87. Now, my bad with the word. This is literally the actual title. Number 87 is a film called Gail Daughtry and the Celebrity Sex Pass. That's right. That's what the actual title is called. Now, this film is directed by David Wayne, who gave us movies such as Wet Hot American Summer, Role Models, and Wanderlust. And this also does sound intriguing. It does star the likes of Zoe Deutsch, John Hamm, John Slattery. It's a David Wayne movie, so Ken Marino's in this one, Ben Wang. And here's what it's about. A bride-to-be finds out that her fiancé has used his celebrity hall pass, and she makes an epic journey to Hollywood to even the scales. And Zoe Deutsch has been having a good year, with Nouvelle Vogue, with the Teresa movie she just did. She's definitely someone to keep an eye out for. So hopefully this is a good one, but we'll see. All right, 86 is Place to Be. Now, Place to Be is directed by the same director of Pieces of a Woman that premiered on Netflix a couple years back. And this stars Taika Waititi, Pamela Anderson, Ellen Burstyn, Edgar Ramirez, Michael Moreau. And it's about unlikely friendship who forms between no-nonsense Brooke and a divorcee Nelson as they travel from Chicago to New York to return a lost racing pigeon. Sounds intriguing. I mean, of course, you got Taika Waititi in this. That could be pretty good, but we'll see there. All right, the director also has another film coming out next year as well. And number 85 is At the Sea. This is also from the same director of Pieces of a Woman. It stars Amy Adams. You also got Mary Bartlett from White Lotus fame, Brett Goldstein from Ted Lasso fame, Dan Levy, and many others. After rehabilitation, Laura, played by Adams, returns to her family's beach home, readjusting to her odd life without her career that gave her identity. She faces the next chapter, forced to move on. Could be interesting. Of course, you got Amy Adams, who's always incredible, so that could be intriguing to check out. Number 84, we got Behemoth. Of course, directed by Tony Gilroy, who's coming off of Andor, which he won an Emmy for. I still don't know what Behemoth is supposed to be about. What I know is it's supposed to be about Arcellus, and it stars Pedro Pascal and Olivia Wilde, David Harbour, Matthew Lillard, Ava Victor coming off of Sorry Baby. So, again, I don't know what the whole film's going to be about, but hey, Tony Gilroy, who gave us Michael Clayton, Andor, just that alone piques my interest. All right, number 83. I actually saw the trailer for this when I went to see Anaconda this past week, and I didn't really knew much about, but from what I've seen, it looks fun. 83 is a movie called They Will Kill You. Starring Zazie Beetz, Tom Felton, and Patricia Arquette, where a woman enters a help-wanted tribute housekeeper in a mysterious New York City high-rise, not realizing she is entering a community that has a number of disappearances over the years. That definitely looks pretty fun there. Zazie Beetz is great, so I'm all for that. Hopefully it's a good one, but we'll see that. 82 is a movie called, a romantic comedy that is, called You, Me, Tuscany, which of course stars Halle Bailey, Regé Jean Page, and it takes place at this Italy's coast and tells the story of a young cook who squats an abandoned Tuscan villa owned by a man she barely knows, and she meets the owner's cousin. It looks pretty charming, to say the least. I like Halle Bailey. Regé Jean Page is pretty good. So I don't know. This could be interesting. Definitely looks like something that Netflix will release. To be honest, yeah, but I don't know. Hopefully it's a good one, but we'll see. All right. Sorry about that. Lost it again. You answer Scotty. Okay. All right. Number 81 is the new, speaking of Daisy Edgar Jones, by the way, it's Sense and Sensibility. Based on a book by Jane Austen, of course, starring Daisy Edgar Jones, Fiona Shaw, George McKay, Frank Delane, and of course, if you guys don't know, obviously this is based on the Jane Austen story. So, obviously, we've seen Sense and Sensibility stories told numerous times. Obviously, the Ang Lee version. So, I don't know. I am hoping this is a good one, but it does star Daisy Edgar Jones, who's always incredible. So, hopefully it's a good one, but we'll see. All right, number 80. Again, this is the actual title. I did not make this title up. Number 80 is literally a film called Masama. You'll probably full title, but it is, of course, about a queer filmmaker who is hired to direct a new installment of a long-running slasher. And big reason why I'm interested in this one. For one, I saw the TV Glow. I mean, it was a weird movie, whatever, but I still thought it was pretty decent. But major reason why I'm interested in this, it's a slasher movie set at camp. You know me, I love me a camp slasher, whether it's Friday the 13th, Sleepaway Camp, Hell of a Summer was pretty decent. So anytime you get a camp slasher movie, piques my interest there. And of course, this also stars Hannah Oddbinder from Hacks fame and Gillian Anderson, so that piques my interest too. So we'll see there. Number 79 is Whale Fall. Now, Whale Fall is an interesting story here. It is about this guy who searches the remains of his father, but gets swallowed whole by a whale, and the whole movie takes place inside the belly of a whale. It's kind of like that movie, Buried. Remember the movie Buried with Ryan Reynolds? It's like that, but instead of being buried alive, he's buried inside a whale. And this does star Austin Abrams, who played that drug dealer in the recent movie Weapons. You also got Josh Brolin, who was also in Weapons. So I don't know this, and it's also from the same director of Love and Monsters that Dylan O'Brien did. So could be pretty interesting. So we'll see here. All right. Okay, let me try to get to it because I lost it again. All right, coming in at number 78 is an Amazon Prime film called Judgment Day. It stars Will Ferrell and Zac Efron, and it's about a reality television judge who is taken hostage on air by a disgruntled man who blames him for his life spiraling into reincarnation. Come on, you got Will Ferrell, Zac Efron, Regina Hawes in this one. It is directed by Nick Stoller, who gave Neighbors movies, and he recently directed that Will Ferrell film, You're Coronarily Invited, that came out this past year, so that piques my interest alone there too. I'm pretty sure this is going to go straight to Amazon though, so that's unfortunate, but hey, I'm still looking forward to seeing it nonetheless. Hopefully it's a good one, but we'll see. All right, coming in at number 77 is Madden. Now, of course, the trailer for this actually recently dropped, and it's of course about depicts the life of John Madden and his involvement in developing the Madden NFL game series. Now, it stars the likes of Christian Bale, Nicolas Cage, Katherine Hahn, Shane Gillis, and the trailer, of course, recently just dropped. It does look intriguing, to say the least. Nick Cage, I mean, he definitely looks unrecognizable, so sign me up with this one. Number 78 is I Love Boosters. It's about a group of shoplifters who take aim at a cutthroat fashion maven, starring Keke Palmer, Demi Moore, Taylor Page, Lakeith Stanfield, Will Poulter, and it's also from the same director of Sorry to Bother You, Bruce Riley. So that there piques my interest. So hopefully this is a good one, but we'll see there. 75 is a movie called Her Private Hell. Excuse my language, that's literally the actual title. It's directed by Nicholas Winding Refn, who you might know gave us the movie Drive. And he hasn't directed a film since The Neon Demon, so glad to see him come back here. And this movie here I don't really know what the movie is supposed to be about, but I did quite like what he did with Drive. Neon Demon was a really wacky film. But this does star Sophie Thatcher, Helena Rose Liu, Charles Melton. That there just piques my interest, so hopefully that's a good one. Number 74 is A Place in Hell. Again, is the actual title. It's of course directed by the director of Fair Play, starring Daisy Edgar-Jones and Michelle Williams and Andrew Scott, and centers on an environment within the prestige criminal law firm where a driven female attorney expects to make partner. And this does sound intriguing, to say the least. You got Daisy Edgar-Jones, who I think is going to have one heck of a year in 2026. Michelle Williams is always good, so I think this could be intriguing. Number 73 is Tony. Of course, Tony is a biopic about Anthony Bourdain, starring the holdover star Dominic Sessa as Bourdain, Antonio Banderas, and Mila Jones. That sounds intriguing. It is from A24, so there's that. So hopefully that's a good one. Number 72 is I Play Rocky, which is, of course, a film about the making of the 1976 movie Rocky. Of course, starring Anthony Ippolito, who played Al Pacino in The Offer. He plays Sylvester Stallone here. You also got the likes of Stephan James as Carl Weathers, and Sophia Robb, Matt Dillon. This does sound like it'd be interesting, so hopefully that's a good one. Number 71 is How to Make a Killing. How to Make a Killing, of course, is directed by the same director of Emily the Criminal, and it stars Glenn Powell, Margaret Qualley, Ed Harris, Topher Grace. And it's, of course, about disowned by birth his obscure, wealthy family. Blue-collar Beckett Redfellow will stop at nothing to reclaim his inheritance here. And the trailer for this does look pretty fun. You got Glenn Powell, who's always good. Margaret Qualley is great, so I'm all for this one. All right, number 70 is Onslaught. Onslaught is also another A24 film. This stars Audrey Arjona. You also got some other really cool folks like Drew Starkey. You also got Dan Stevens, Reggie Val Johnson, from Family Matters fame. And it's about a mother living in the trailer park uses her skills to protect her loved ones from a threat that escaped a secret military base. Now, of course, this is from director Adam Wingard, who gave us movies like The Guest, the Godzilla and Kong films. I'm definitely looking forward to see this one. It does sound intriguing, so hopefully that's a good one. Number 69 is Enemies. Of course, it stars Austin Butler and Jeremy Allen White, and it's also being released by A24, where a detective has a battle of wits in pursuit of a fugitive contract killer. That does sound like it'd be pretty fun. So hopefully, you got Jeremy Allen White, Austin Butler, two like hottest actors right now. So I'm all for that. All right. Coming in at number 68 is Crime 101, where an LA detective pursues an exclusive theft thief who teams up with an insurance broker for one last heist. Of course, it stars Chris Hemsworth, Barry Keoghan, Mark Ruffalo, Corey Hawkins, Nick Nolte. Looks pretty fun. Of course, based on a book by Don Winslow, so I'm all for that. All right, number 67. Or as the people are calling it, 6-7. That's still kind of a weird thing, but whatever. Of course, at 67 is a movie called Chaperones, where three slackers friends take a job transporting a troubled teen across country just after Christmas. It stars Cooper Hoffman, David Johnson, who coming off of The Long Walk Together, Alfred Molina, Paul Dano. It does sound intriguing. I do like the cast involved, so sign me up there. 66 is Violent Night 2. Of course, the follow-up to 2022's Violent Night with David Harbour. I don't know what it's supposed to be about, but hey, I like the first film, so hopefully the next one will be good. Number 65 is Ebenezer, A Christmas Carol. Now, this is supposed to be a comeback for Johnny Depp playing Scrooge, and it's from the director of the X trilogy, Ty West, so that there piques my interest. Number 64 is A Long Winter. Now, A Long Winter, of course, has an interesting cast here. It's of course set in the high mountains of autumn ends, and a family prepares for a winter after a fight, and the mother leaves with her dog during a sudden severe blizzard. And it stars the likes of Katrina Balfe. We also got Evan Moss-Bachrach, Fred Hechinger also in this. So we got some good cast members. So, and it's also from the same director of Lean on Pete, Andrew Haigh. So that there piques my interest too. All right, 63 is Wildwood. I hope this is coming out this year because I just feel like I've been talking about this movie like forever. 63 is Wildwood, which is from of course, the company Laika. And it's from the director of Kubo and the Two Strings, Travis Knight, which he's on this list again, by the way. Wildwood, of course, follows Prue McHale and her classmate Curtis Melberg as they are joined into a hidden magical forest near Portland in an attempt to save Prue's kidnapped infant brother, Max, and from the Crows, who are led by a mysterious woman named Alexandra. So, yeah, that's definitely could be pretty interesting. You do got the voice talents of Carey Mulligan, Mahershala Ali, Peyton Elizabeth Lee, Amanda Stenberg, some good cast members. So And Leica has not really had a movie out since 29 since that Bigfoot movie from 2019, Missing Link. So it's been a while for Leica. So I mean, this is the company who gave us Coraline after all. So number 62 is Raygun. Of course, this is a anime movie coming to Netflix from the Incredibles director Brad Bird, and it follows Raymond Gunn, who's supposed to be voiced by Sam Rockwell, the last human private detective in a futuristic world inhabited by humans and aliens. Does sound intriguing. I mean, it is supposed to be released by Netflix after all, so I don't know if this is like going to get a big on YDAC release. I mean, Brad Bird hasn't really had a film out since Incredibles 2, if I'm not mistaken. So hopefully this is a good one, but we'll see. All right, 64 is Backrooms. Now this is actually a directorial debut by this YouTuber here, and it's based on like his short and all. It stars of course it stars the likes of Chiwetel Ejiofor, Renee Reinslav, and Evan Joga. After a therapist patient goes missing into a dimension beyond reality, she has to enter the unknown to save him. That could be interesting there. I mean, hey, with a lot of YouTubers making films like, the Rock Brothers with Talk to Me, Chris Stuckman, obviously. So hopefully this is the next good one, but we'll see here. Number 60 is Hex, which is, of course, a new Disney animated film following an awkward teenager and his type A mom as they discover an unusual quirks with magical powers, pulling them into a hidden magical world and teaching lessons about embracing unique and family bonds. That does sound intriguing. I mean, of course, this is supposed to come out around Thanksgiving, so we'll see how that is, because, I mean, Zootopia 2 was a hit, Moana 2 was a hit. You never know about Disney Animation's original contents. Wish did not do so well. Strange World wasn't that much of a hit. We'll see how Hoppers do, but yeah, I feel like people nowadays just want to see the sequels here. But 59 is the next Jumanji movie. I don't know what it's supposed to be about. I'm actually predicting I don't know what the title's going to be, but I'm predicting the title will probably be Jumanji: The Final Level. Because it's supposed to be like the final Jumanji movie. I could easily see it be called The Final Level, The Last Level, whatever, something around those lines. But you do got Dwayne Johnson. You do got supposed to have Jack Black's coming back, Kevin Hart, Karen Gillian. I'm definitely looking forward to see this next Jumanji. Again, I don't know what it's supposed to be about, but I have enjoyed the recent Jumanji movies, so sign me up with this one. All right, 58, we got Practical Magic 2. Of course, the sequel to the 1990s Practical Magic, starring Nicole Kidman and Sandra Bullock. Definitely interesting where they're going to take the sequel to. 57, we got M. Night Shyamalan's Remain. This is an interesting one, because M. Night Shyamalan is actually teaming up with Nicholas Sparks. And this is supposed to star the likes of Jake Gyllenhaal, and where New York architect heads to Cape Cod to design a summer home for his best friend, seeking a fresh start after being treated for depression. Still mourning his sister's death, he meets Ren, a young woman who disrupts his carefully ordered world. That could be interesting. We got a movie called Paper Tiger, which stars Adam Driver and Scarlett Johansson, who of course was in Marriage Story together, where two brothers pursue the American dream, but get entangled in a dangerous Russian mafia scheme that terrorizes her family, testing their bond as betrayal becomes possible. I'm looking forward to see that. I mean, it's directed by James Gray, who gave us Armageddon time recent years, so I'm looking forward to see that one. Hopefully it's good, but we'll see there. 55 is Voltron, which is of course based on the anime toy line here. It is a shame that this is going straight to Amazon rather than theirs. But this is being directed by Central Intelligence Director Rasha Marsha Derber, starring Henry Cavill. So I'm hoping it's a good one, but we'll see. 54 is The Young People, which is directed by Oz Perkins, who recently gave us The Monkey, Longlegs, Unfortunate Keepers. I still don't know what it's supposed to be about, but hey, you do got Nico Parker, you do got Lola Tung coming off of Samurai Champloo fame. So Nicole Kidman, Johnny Knoxville, Tata Mazzani. I'm hoping it's better than Keeper, but we'll see. All right, 53, we got One Night Only, which is from the same director of anybody what's the name of that City Sweeney Glenn Powell film? Ain't the One But You. That's what it's called. And it's about two strangers who try to find love on one night a year where premarital hanky panky is legal. It stars Monica Barbaro, Colin Turner, Molly Ringwald, LeVar Burton. Interesting cast members, so that could be interesting, but we'll see. 52, we got Verity. Speaking of Colleen Hoover, by the way. Hired to be a ghostwriter for renowned author Verity Crawford. Alone his assignment takes a dark turn when she discovers a chilling autobiography notes. Now this is based on a book by Colleen Hoover, whose recent books got turned into features like It Ends With Us, Regretting You. There's Reminders of Him coming out. This here is from the director of The Big Sick, starring the likes of Anne Hathaway, Dakota Johnson, and Josh Hartnett. So that piques my interest. All right, 51, we got The Cat. All right, coming in at number 50, Hunger Games Sunrise on the Reaping. I've gone to see the last Hunger Games movie, Songbirds and Snakes. I was actually big with, but I've been really digging everything I've been seeing from this new one, so I am having some hopes for this one, but we'll see there. I mean, you do got Ray Fiennes, McKenna Grace is in this one. So I don't know. Hopefully it is good, but we'll see there. All right. Okay, let me try to get back to it. All right, number 49 is Ready or Not, Here I Come. Of course, a follow-up to 2019's Ready or Not, starring Samara Weaving, Katherine Newton. Definitely looking forward to check out this new one. The trailers for this has looked fun. You got Elijah Woods, Sarah Michelle Gellar, David Cronenberg. Hopefully it is a good one, but see there. Number 48 is another movie coming out in January called Send Help, starring Sam Raimi. Now, of course, we're Rachel McAdams and Dylan O'Brien stars as a worker and her boss, who becomes stranded on an island after a plane crash and attempts to survive here. And it does look pretty fun. Looks really intense, to say the least. I like how what they described it. It's like Misery meets Castaway. And after seeing the preview, it definitely has a little bit of a Misery Castaway vibe. So sign me up there. And it's also Sam Raimi's first horror movie since Drag Me to Hell. So one more key act for there. 47 is The Drama, which stars Zendaya and Robert Pattinson. And it's where days before their wedding, a couple's relationship is shaken when one partner discovers unsettling truths about the other. Does look intriguing. You got Zendaya, Robert Pattinson. That piques my interest. So hopefully that's a good one, though. See there? 46. This was actually on my list last year, but it looks like it didn't really come out last year. 46 is Famous. It stars Zac Efron as his 38-year-old loser who uses an uncanny resemblance to a movie star James Johnson to pursue his dreams in New York's Guard Theater scene in LA. That does sound really interesting. I mean, 2024 seemed or I should say 2025 really seemed like it had a habit of having actors playing dual roles. We had Robert Pattinson, Robert De Niro, Michael B. Jordan all played dual roles. Looks like it's Zac Efron's turn, so could be interesting. You got Devin Ryan's in this one. You do got Phoebe Donver. So I don't know. It could be interesting, but we'll see. All right, and it's also from A24, so there's that. Number 45 is October, which I don't know what it's supposed to be about, but it is from the same director of Green Room, and that Netflix action movie with Aaron Pereira in it. So that I don't know what it's supposed to be about, but hey, could be interesting, but we'll see. Yeah. And also we got Michael Smith, Tracy Wonders coming off of the studio. Oh, and it's called Rebel Ridge. That's what I was thinking of. From the same director, Rebel Ridge. So that will definitely pique my interest just from the director alone. All right. Number 44 is Flowerville Street. Now this is I still don't know what it's supposed to be about, but word has it might be a movie about dinosaurs, which it's always nice to see dinosaur movies that does not have the word Jurassic Park in the title. So it's supposed to have like Anne Hathaway, Ewan McGregor, from the director of It Follows. So we'll see how this one is, but so that should be interesting. 43, we got Wuthering Heights, which is based on the classic novel, starring Margot Robbie, Jacob Elordi, of course, from the same director, Promising Young Woman. I know there are people who are poo-pooing on the casting, whatever. I don't really read the books. I don't really care about the casting. All I know is it has Margot Robbie, Jacob Elordi, the kid from Adolescent, Owen Cooper's in this one, from the director, Promising Young Woman, as Saltburn. That there piques my interest just itself alone. So 42 is Evil Dead Burn, which is of course the new Evil Dead film. I don't know what it's supposed to be about, but hey, more Evil Dead movies is always given. 41 is The Bride, which is of course an updated version of The Bride of Frankenstein, starring Christian Bale as the monster, Jesse Buckley. It does look intriguing, directed by Maggie Gyllenhaal, so sign me over this one. Number 40 is Father-in-Law, which is a new Meet the Parents movie starring Robert De Niro, Ben Stiller, Ariana Grande is in this new one. I do like the Meet the Parents franchise, so more Meet the Parents is always given. And I actually quite liked Lil Focus, by the way. It did not get the best love or whatever, but Lil Focus so cracked me up. Number 39 is Jonah Hill's new movie, Cut Off, where two wealthy siblings are forced to support themselves after their parents cut them off. And you got like Jonah Hill, Kristen Wiig, Nathan Lane, Bette Midler, Camila Cabello, good cast members, directed by Jonah Hill. That piques my interest, so hopefully this is the good one. 38 is another Jonah Hill directed film, Outcome. Now this also is coming to Apple. This was actually on my list last year, but it looks like they did not really release it yet. But it's directed and starring Jonah Hill, who, of course, his directing really piques my interest because he did that movie Mid-90s a couple years back. That was really good. This stars Keanu Reeves, Cameron Diaz, Jonah Hill, Matt Bomer, David Spade, Laverne Cox. And it's where Reed Hawk is an actor who has been sober for 5 years. He has taken a break from acting to build his new home, and he takes pride in his progress in life. However, he receives a call from his crisis lawyer, Ira Stilts, who reveals that someone is blackmailing him with a video of questionable content. Now, this is going to Apple, so I don't know if it's going to go straight to Apple or if it's going to get the act release, but we'll see. 37 is How to Rob a Bank, starring Nicholas Hoult and Pete Davidson, John C. Reilly, Zoe Kravitz, Anna Sawai, from the same director of The Fall Guy, Deadpool 2, David Leitch. It's about a crew of bank robbers who has been using social media to document heists that they have pulled off, leading to the pursuit of the police. This does sound pretty fun. I mean, David Leitch has been killing it in the action sphere, so sign me with this one. Number 36 is Hoppers, which is the new Pixar movie, where a group of scientists invent a way to hop human minds into lifelike robotic animal bodies. The previews for this has looked pretty fun. Of course, this is a new Pixar movie, so that piques my interest. So sign me with this one. Number 35 is Devil Wears Prada 2, which, you know what? This movie's going to be a hit. You don't know how, loads of people love Devil Wears Prada. So I think the sequel with Anne Hathaway, Meryl Streep, I think it's going to do really well in business. 34, speaking of Travis Knight, is Masters of the Universe. Of course, based on the, famed toy line for fame here, Nicholas Galstein is our He-Man. You've got Camille Mendes, Jared Leto as Skeletor, which I know he gets a lot of hate here and there, but hey, I'm sure he'll do an okay job as Skeletor. I mean, it can't be worse than Morbius and Tron Ares, right? But I don't know. We'll see. I do trust Travis Knight. He did a good job with Bumblebee, so we'll see there. All right, coming in at number... All right, coming in at number 33 is Animals. Now, this is a new Netflix movie directed and starring Ben Affleck, who of course Ben Affleck's direct. This is actually his first movie he's directing that is not released by Warner Brothers. Oh no, actually his last one was Eric. Never mind. This is not his first, but I mean it's a shame he doesn't really direct movies from Warner Brothers anymore. But I mean, come on, he did Argo, Gone Girl. No, not Gone Girl. Gone Baby Gone. My bad. And Animals here stars Kerry Washington, Gillian Anderson, and it's when the son of an LA mayor candidate, Milo Bradford, is kidnapped. He and his wife has few hours to come up with the ransom payment. And it does sound pretty interesting. Of course, Ben Affleck is always great. He also has that new movie he's doing with Matt Damon called The Rip. I'm interested in that, although the director's previous movies hasn't been the best, so who knows if that's going to be good or not. But Animals, come on, Ben Affleck, he's only directed one movie that came out that I was not a fan of, and that was Live by Night. All of his other directing stuff has been great, one of which won Best Picture at the Oscars, so there's that. Hopefully Animals is good, but we'll see. All right. All right, now, that's not the only movie with the word animals on the title on this list. Coming in at number 32 is Animal Friends. Now, this has a really interesting cast that includes Ryan Reynolds, Vince Vaughn, Jason Momoa, Addison Rae, Dan Levy, Aubrey Plaza. And it's where two fugitive animals embark on an adventure across America while pursued by an equally odd couple, DEA agent and fish and wildlife ranger with someone to root. An R-rated anime movie about talking animals. What more can you ask for there? So that could be pretty fun there. You got Ryan Reynolds, Jason Momoa. Sign me up here. Number 31, speaking of Jason Momoa, by the way, 31 is Street Fighter. Obviously based on the very popular video game franchise. You got Jason Momoa, Andrew Koji, Catino. Some good cast members. The trailer for this that got released recent looks pretty fun, so sign me up with this one. All right, number 30 is another film based on a fighting video game, Mortal Kombat 2, with Carl Urban as Johnny Cage. The trailer for this has looked pretty fun, so I'm definitely looking forward to see this. I enjoyed the last Mortal Kombat. It is unfortunate that this got delayed from this year to summer 2026, but maybe the wait will be worth it. Who knows? Number 29 is another film based on a video game franchise, is Resident Evil. Now, of course, the last Resident Evil movie was not the best, but I have some hopes for this one because it's directed by Zach Krieger, who recently directed Barbarian and Weapons. So that there just piques my interest. I mean, Zach Krieger is becoming the go-to horror director, so I'm looking forward to that. 28 is Moana, of course, a live-action remake of the Disney film. Dwayne Johnson returning as Maui is going to be interesting. The little preview that got shown looks intriguing, so definitely looking forward to see a new trailer when that drops. Number 27 is Artificial. Now, Luca Guadagnino recently directed After the Hunt, which wasn't so good, but I have some hope for this one here. It's features the likes of Andrew Garfield, Monica Barbaro, Yor Borisov, coming off of Anora, Cooper Koch, Cooper Hoffman, Ike Barinholtz. Ike Barinholtz, by the way, is playing Elon Musk. That should be interesting to say. Now, I still don't know what it's supposed to be about, but it's supposed to be centering around CEO Sam Altman after being fired and rehired and stuff. So it is supposed to be a movie about AI. So see how that one's going to be. Or open AI, I should say. All right. Coming in at number 26 is Narnia. Now, of course, this is the new Narnia movie directed by Greta Gerwig, based on a book by C.S. Lewis. You've got Carey Mulligan, Emma McKay, Meryl Streep is supposed to be voicing Aslan the Lion, so that could be interesting. 25 is Clayface. Of course, the next DC, I guess say the third DC movie set for release, or the second DC movie set for release next year. I'm definitely looking forward to see this. It's scripted. It's being scripted by Mike Flanagan. Of course, you got Naomi Acton supposed to be in this as well. Directed by Speak No Evil director James Watkins. I am hoping this is a good one. I definitely cannot wait to see a trailer for this thing, but we'll see how that one is going to be. 24 is Werewolf, which is directed by Robert Eggers, who recently put out Nosferatu. This is, of course, supposed to be a werewolf movie starring Aaron Taylor Johnson, Lily Rose Depp, and William Dafoe. Definitely looking forward to that one. I think he did a good job in Nosferatu, so should be interesting to see this one here. It takes place in 13th century England. Okay, cool there. He always does period piece stuff. I don't think we'll ever see Robert Eggers do like a movie set in modern times. But anyway, 23 is Whitney Springs, which is the new film from the creators of South Park, starring Kendrick Lamar, and depicts the past and present coming to a head when a young black man who is turning as a slave reenactor at a living history museum discovers that his white girlfriend's ancestors want to own him. Sounds like it'd be interesting there. Of course, Kendrick Lamar's in this. That piques my interest. You got the creators of South Park doing this. Come on, what more could you ask for there? All right, number 29. Oh, 29. Number 22 is Being Humane, which is from the same director of Coda, which won the Oscar for Best Picture. This here, of course, stars the likes of Mark Ruffalo. And here's what it's supposed to be about. It is a biopic about Judy Heumanns, based on her memoir, about the legendary disability rights activist, chronicling her lifelong fight for inclusion and focusing heavily on leadership during the historic 1977 Section 504 sit in San Francisco, where she and fellow activists occupied a federal building for 28 days to demand accessible rights, establishing Present for Law and the Americans with Disability Acts. That could be interesting there. Of course, you got Mark Ruffalo, the director did a great job of Coda, so that piques my interest. Number 21 is Mandalorian and Grogu. Crazily, this is the first Star Wars movie we've gotten since 2019's Rise of Skywalker. I'm hoping this is a good one. I actually haven't enjoyed the trailer. I thought the trailer was pretty decent. So I am having hopes for this one because it's Jon Favreau, but we'll see. All right, now 20 to 1 here. Number 20 is Terrifier 4. Of course, the fourth installment of the Terrifier films. I have been enjoying the Terrifier movies. Like, Art the Clown has become a horror icon lately. So, but I am wondering if this is coming out next year because they haven't really begun shooting it or whatever. But hey, if I'm not mistaken, David and Leon did not shoot Terrifier 3 until January or February that year, and Terrifier 3 still came out that same year. So we'll see. I mean, it's supposed to have experience Art's backstory and stuff. So that there piques my interest here. All right, number 19 is Dune Part 2. People will probably complain that it's not a little hard, but to be honest, my top few films I'm actually more excited for. That's how great this year is. If your anticipated film is not a Star Wars movie or a Dune movie, 2026 is going to be a solid year. But of course, 19 is Dune Part 3, which is the third installment of the Dune franchise, so definitely excited for that one. Robert Pattinson is supposed to be in this, so there's that. Number 18 is an untitled A24 musical film directed by Jesse Eisenberg, starring Julianne Moore, Paul Giamatti, Halle Bailey. And it's about a shy woman who is unexpectedly cast in a local production of an original musical under the spell of the strong-willed director here. Of course, Jesse Eisenberg recently put out A Real Pain, which I know was starring Brad Pitt. Timothy Olyphant's also in this, Scott Conn. Now, biggest complaint is that this is a Netflix release. I mean, I am hoping they give it a theatrical release, but who knows? Number 16 is The Social Reckoning, which is the sequel to The Social Network. And this is actually supposed to have a read Bill Burr, Jeremy Strong, and Mark Zuckerberg. Speaking of Jesse Eisenberg, by the way. I'm hoping this is a good one. Social Network was literally my favorite film of that year, so I really thought a movie about Facebook sounded like a dumb idea. But The Social Network was awesome, so I'm definitely looking forward to see this one. Hopefully it's good, but we'll see there. All right, coming in at number 15 is Project Hail Mary. Now, Project Hail Mary looks awesome. Of course, you got Ryan Gosling, the AT&T girls in this one as well, so there's that. And this is also from the same directors as 21 Jump Street. And follows like a man awakens on the be there. And the trailer for this has some pretty interesting, looks intriguing. I really quite like the effects here. I mean, Rob Reiner has saying that this movie could possibly win Best Picture. I don't know. It might, but I don't know what to say. Maybe visual effects probably, but I don't know Best Picture here. But all right, coming in at number 14 is the Super Mario Galaxy movie, which is of course the follow to the Super Mario movie. I'm not looking for the one. Of course, he's supposed to have like Brie Larson voicing Rosalina, so I am hoping this is a good one, but we'll see here. I really quite like the Super Mario movie, so we'll see how this one's going to be. All right, number 13 is a film that I'm so glad is finally coming out this year. Coyote versus Acme. Of course, obviously, follows Wile Coyote as he sues the Acme Corporation for repeatedly sending him alleged fantasy project. Of course, you got the likes of John Cena, Will Forte, Eric Bowers in this. I mean, I am so glad they were finally releasing this thing because this movie was in the pipeline and of course got canceled from Warner Brothers here because of Warner Brothers domination, whatever. So I am super happy this is finally coming. I mean, come on, you got Wile Coyote, Foghorn Leghorn's supposed to be in this one as well. Anything Looney Tunes related, I'm gonna be excited for. All right. Coming in at number 12 is The Entertainment System is Down, which is from the same director, The Triangle of Sadness, starring Keanu Reeves, Kristen Dunst, and Dana Brew. It's more like the passage of a lengthy flight contend with their boredom as their plane's entertainment system is broken. Could be interesting. You got Keanu Reeves, Kristen Dunst. I think this movie probably will premiere at most likely the Cannes Film Festival, I'm thinking. So it is supposed to be released by A24. Of course, Ruben Östlund's coming off of Triangle of Sadness, was pretty good. So hopefully this is a good one. All right. Coming in at number 11 is Wild Horse 9. Wild Horse, now, I don't know what it's supposed to be about, but it is directed by Martin McDonagh, who gave us movies such as Banshees of Inisherin, In Bruges, Seven Psychopaths. He's done some really good stuff. And you got supposed to have Sam Rockwell, who actually won an Oscar for his other movie, Three Billboards. John Malkovich, Steve Buscemi, Tom Waits, Parker Posey. Got some good cast members in this, so I don't know what it's supposed to be about, but I do like the director and cast involved, so that there just piques my interest. Now here is my official top 10. Number 10 is Supergirl. The trailer that just dropped for this one, I've enjoyed. I love the scenery of this. I think Millie Alcock, seeing her coming in, back as Supergirl, coming off of, Superman, she looked great as Supergirl. So I'm definitely looking forward to having her here. So sign me up with that one. All right, number 9 is Scream 7. Of course, I know this is going to be unpopular to say, but I know the whole Melissa Barrera stuff it's unfortunate, but I do love the Scream franchise. I have really quite liked the trailer for this thing. So, come on. You're supposed to also have some of the OG cast members coming in as well. So, what more could you ask for there? All right. Coming in at number 8 is Scary Movie 6. Of course, obviously a parody of the Scream franchise. I am excited for Scream 6. Of course, you got obviously the Wayans brothers returning for this. You got Anna Faris, Regina Hall coming back. I'm really pumped to see where they're going to take this one to. Obviously, they're most likely going to be pairing the recent Scream franchise we've been having. So, sign me up with this one. All right. All right, sorry, I lost that again. Sorry about that. I accidentally lost that here. All right, coming in at number 7 is Toy Story 5. I know people's being like, oh, we don't need more Toy Story movies, blah, blah, blah. I'm excited for the next Toy Story film. I do love the Toy Story franchise. I mean, I will say Toy Story 4 is probably the weakest out of the franchise, but I still enjoy it as a co-holiday. So I've never, and of course, supposed to, including iPads, so one more key for there. I have some really high hopes for this one, but we'll see how that's going to be. Number 6 is Alejandro G. Iñárritu's new film called Digger. Of course, starring Tom Cruise, John Goodman. I mean, come on, from the same director of Birdman, The Revenant. One more key export here. Tom Cruise, I'm sure, is going to do great here, so sign me up with this one. Number 5 is Spider-Man Brand New Day. Of course, I'm definitely excited for this one. I love the Spider-Man franchise. I love I'm definitely hoping we get a trailer soon, but we'll see here. Come on, you're supposed to have Tom Holland back in this. Punisher, the Hulk's supposed to be in this. Definitely excited for that there. Number 4 is The Closure. The Closure Day, of course, is the new Spielberg movie starring Emily Blunt, Josh O'Connor, Colin Firth, Coleman Domingo, E. Paulson. Of course, I really do quite like this Spielberg movie. So come on, that one more ask for there. The trailers have looked pretty decent, so sign me up with this one. All right, number 3 is Michael. Of course, Michael is the biopic about Michael Jackson. The preview for this has looked great. Of course, you got Michael Jackson's nephew in this, so I'm definitely pumped to see this one when it comes out. I still predict, I actually wrote this on my social media essay. I'm going to you right now. I don't know when the new trailer is going to drop, but I predict the new trailer will drop during the Grammy Awards. I figure maybe, I actually thought maybe the Super Bowl, but you know what? I think the Grammy Awards will be a perfect place to release a new trailer. I mean, Micah is based on a former Grammy Award-winning music icon, right? Well, Grammys is the home to music. So what better place to drop the trailer than the Grammys? So we'll see. All right, number 2 is The Odyssey. Come on, Christopher Nolan, Matt Damon, Tom Holland. I mean, what more can you ask for with this one? I've been really digging everything I've been seeing from this thing, especially that I really got more excited for this thanks to seeing that prologue that was shown during Avatar Fire and Ash. I am excited for this one. I am hoping it's great, but we'll see here. Nolan is just one of the greatest. So, all right. And my number 1 is no surprise. My number 1 anticipated film of the year is obviously Avengers Doomsday. I mean, they've of course been dropping trailers here and there. Of course, they just dropped the Steve Rogers trailer. That actually looked okay. Can't wait to see the Thor one. I'm really pumped to see this thing. I love the Avengers movies. They have always been pretty decent. I am having some hopes for this one. You got Robert Downey Jr. coming in as Doctor Doom. Come on, what more can you ask for here? I am hoping this is a great one and will bring the MCU back on track. I mean, crazy to believe in 2026 we have only 2 MCU movies. We got Spider-Man Brand New Day and we got Doomsday. So, I just realized we got 2 DC movies next year and 2 Marvel movies next year. That should be interesting to say. But that's pretty much it there. Now, I'm not going to do the whole quick one now. What I might do is actually probably, comment on the films that, on my list or whatever. But I'm not going to do the whole quick rundown again. So, I'll just do my quick rundown just for my top 10, though. All right, my official top 10 there. Yeah, I'm not going to do the whole quick rundown for all the films here. But, of course, my quick rundown for my top 10, my official top 10 here. Number 10, Supergirl. 9, Scream 7. 8, Scary Movie 6, 7, Toy Story 5, 6, Digger, 5, Spider-Man Brand New Day, 4, Disclosure Day, 3, Michael, 2, The Odyssey, 1, Avengers Doomsday. Let me show you guys. What are some of your most anticipated films set for release in 2026? Now, a separate video, by the way, I'm going to do my anticipated, TV shows of the year, so keep your eye out for those. But, what are some of the movies you're excited for to see? What do you think, looks or sounds good here? Is there a film that I didn't even add that you're excited for? Drop comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for notification. This is Simon signing off.